Everyone, today I'm going to analyze the effect of changes of ABC towards the shape and position of the graph of the quadratic function. So as you can see, the quadratic function we are having now is having a, which is 9, right? The a is 9. Can you see that? Let me enlarge it. Okay, you can see or not? So this is the graph that we are going to observe when I change ABC, right? Okay, now I'm going to, it's a 9x squared plus 8x plus 3. So the a is 9. Now let's observe. I'm going to change the a from 9 to 6. You can observe the wider of the shape of the quadratic function. Okay, the shape will change, it become wider if the a decrease. If the a increase, it become narrow, right? So when the a increase, I'm going to increase the a from 10 to 10. Now you notice that the shape become narrow. Okay, now it become wider if I decrease. Now a is 6, right? Become wider. A is 3, become wider again. And now if 1, it is the most the shape is the most wide, right? And then if it is 0, it will become a straight line because the coefficient of the x squared is 0. So you will get the y equal to mx plus c, I'm sure, right? So the straight line that you will get is actually having the positive gradient, right, which is y equal to 8x plus 3, right? Is cutting at the y-axis at 3. So if I increase the a to positive, you'll get a U shape, right? Okay. What if I decrease the a become a negative value? So you will see the N shape. Alright, you can see the shape will change. Alright, if negative, it will become N shape. And one thing you will observe is the C and the B does not change, right? So again, I just demo to you the quadratic function will change the shape when the A change. Okay, so this is called the effect of changing the values of a. It will change the shape to U shape if it is a is positive, and if the a is bigger, the curve will become narrow, and if the a increase, the curve of the quadratic function will become narrow. If the a is decreased, it will become wider. Okay, but you notice that okay, it become wider, but you notice that if a is negative 1, okay, if I decrease to negative 2, it become narrow. If I increase, it become wider. So it become narrow. If negative 6, it become narrow. It's narrow, right? Negative value, it become narrow. Okay, now you observe. Okay, now I make it a U shape, right, like this. Okay, make it a nice happy face. Okay, so this is positive. A is 3. I make it wider. A is 1. So now I make it A equal to maybe 2. Okay, that's nice. Now I'm going to change the value of the B. So I want you to observe when I change the value of B, okay, to 10, you notice that what is the change? B is 5. The graph when I change to negative 1 and negative 5, it will go to the right, opposite direction. When I go to the left, the graph will go to the right of the y-axis. When I go to the positive value, the graph will go to the left hand side of the y-axis, right? It go against with me. So if I go to the left, it will go to the right. When I go to the right, it will go to the left. That is the effect of changing the value of the b. Alright. So what about if I change the c? If I change the c, you notice that this is a y-intercept. So the graph will move vertically upward or downward. If negative, it will go downward. If positive, it will go upward, right? Okay, so this is so-called changing the values of ABC will actually affect the changes of the shape, position, and graph. Alright. So again, I highlight to you in short summary. So change in value of A will actually affect the shape and width of the graph, right? Shape and width of the graph. However, the y-intercept remain unchanged. Okay, the y-intercept remain unchanged. You notice that the y-intercept remain unchanged? Okay, right? Now, okay, when the A is more than 0, the shape of the graph is a U shape which passes through the minimum point, right? You can see there is a minimum point. And when the A is less than 0, okay, the shape of the graph is N shape which passes through the maximum point. Okay, for the A more than 0, example A equal to 1, let's say A is 1, make it 1, okay. When A is 1, okay, is the shape is a U shape. So when value of A is larger than 1, let's say I have 4. Okay, the value of A is actually larger than 1, which is 4. So the width of the graph decreases. The width of the graph decreases, right? If I make it bigger, somewhat bigger, it decreases, right? Okay. Conversely, when the value of A is smaller than 1, let's say I make it negative, negative 3 or negative, okay, negative 2, smaller than 1. Negative 2 is smaller than 1, right? And then you notice that the width of the graph increases. Okay, when the value of A is smaller than 1 and then approaches 0, the width of the graph increase, right? Negative 1 increase, the width increase. But if I make it negative 3, negative 4, you see, okay, when the value of the A actually change from negative 1, negative 2 to negative 6, the width of the graph decreases. This is something special, right? Okay, so let's again see it will increase when the A is smaller than 1 and approaches 0, right? The width of the graph increases. Okay, that's a effect of changing the value of A. When you change a B, okay, change in value of B will only affect the position of vertex. You see the turning point. The vertex will change, okay, when we change the value of the B. When B is equal to 0, let's make it B equal to 0. Okay, when B is equal to 0, the vertex is on the y-axis. Okay, when B is less than 0, the vertex, okay, is on the left side. Okay, when B, the B now is negative 5, right? When B is actually less than 0, the vertex is on the which side of the y-axis? Okay, let's see. I'm going to change B. Make sure I want to make the B more than 0, which is 1, 2, 3. It will go to the vertex will go to the right of the y-axis. Alright. This is meant for the A less than 0. Okay, if A more than 0, it will be different. For A less than 0, when B is more than 0, the vertex is on the right side of the y-axis. Okay, and then b will be less than 0, let's say negative, right? Negative 4. The vertex is on the left side of the y-axis. So this is for the N shape. How about for the a more than 0? Let's say we have 1, a is more than 0, happy face. When happy face, okay, when b is more than 0, what happens? It will go to the left, right? Left side of the y-axis, right? And then what happens if b less than 0? It will go to the right side of the y-axis. This one is for the U shape. For the U shape, if I slide the b to the 10 positive, it will go to the left side. If I slide to the negative, it will go to the right side of the y-axis. Okay, for a more than 0. For a less than 0, let's see, a less than 0, when your b is negative 10, it will go to the left side. And b is positive, it will go to the right side. It's different, right? Okay, there's a special about the shape. Okay, different shape will have different position, depends on the b. Okay, if I change the c value, you notice that the graph will go downward. Okay, now is the c is 2. If I make it 1, it will go down. For the 0, it will cut the origin. Okay, that is the y-intercept. Negative 5, and then it actually cut the y-axis at negative 10. If I increase, it will actually move upward and cut the y-intercept at 10. Okay, or maybe 6 here. That is for N shape. How about for U shape? Okay, for U shape, it also follow the same thing. If I change the value of c, the graph actually will move. If I move to 8, the graph will cut y-axis at 8. Now the graph is cutting at 5, is cutting at 0, right? It's actually cutting at the origin, and it can cut actually at the negative 5 or negative 7. It depends. This is the position of the y-intercept. So change in value of c only affect the position of the graph either vertically upward or vertically downward. The shape of the graph remain unchanged. Okay, understand? So that's all my sharing about the effect of the changing of the a, b, and c for the quadratic function, right? So the changes in shape and position of the graph actually depends on the changing of the value of a, b, and c. That's all for today's class. Bye bye. Have a nice day.